Any Army football season, especially one which had the memories of 2024, is always so special. We're not only going to look back to tonight, celebrate our first class, but also look ahead to the 2025 season. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed dessert down in Crest Hall, but we'll start. Direct your attention to the video screens. We'll take a look back at the great moments from Army football 2024.
Me voix d'homme à chanter dans la nuit. Me voix d'homme m'a redonné la vie.
2024, the greatest place to watch college football. Vikings Stadium in Westport, New York. Here we are, end of August, and ready to kick it off. Everybody's juices are flowing. He just struck the tight end into the ground. Intercepted. Timeout against Video. What a move by Bryson. It'll be an enormous game. Runs into a wall. Such a place to go. What a knockout. Black Knights open October at 4-0 for just the second time ever. Looking to start a season with 5-0 for the first time since 1996. Sailing back to throw music down the middle, and Lewis gets you out for the 20, and he glides in for the touchdown. Doesn't get any easier than that. Slammed to the turf, took him right down like it was a wrestling match. The double coverage there, DiDomenico all over it. Off the 10, kick the punt up to the 5, takes it in for the touchdown. That was all offensive line. Like you said, he was untouched. Noah Short might go. They'll take it all the way inside the 20-yard line, and Noah Short takes it 61 yards, and Army is on the board. Play for Army. Phenomenal play, trusting his eye. Opposite in motion, Daly wants to throw, the man's breaking up. This start for Army has been historic. 5 wins to start the season for the first time since 1996. That team started 9-0. I'll tell you what, 5-0, 9 wins overall in a row. This team's done a pretty good job. What a cut! Bryson to the goal line, and he's balled in for the touchdown. Fires the right team out down into Thomas, and Army takes over on down. Hits the line, hits to the goal line, reaches touchdown, Army. Right through to the end zone. Let's go out with Dozy. He goes, Dean, that's the reason I come to work in the morning. Dino lead blocker, Daly with a grace. Bryson, Daly gets in the end zone, and he rolls across the goal line. Kick out, time, check out, flushed, scramble, stop by our forward. Big play from his defense.
Army looking to stay unbeaten, and here come the Black Knights. They have demolished every opponent in their way so far this year. 7-0.
It's up and driven by Chicago. What a play, look at this team. Just up the legs and drag them. There's nowhere to go. Lewis. This is the Army 39. He's got the throw, but Dozy's got him and drops him back in midfield. For the DiDomenico gets smothered by 3 others, including Cody Harris. Miller as he throws, and it's blocked. That's Larkin. So Army continues their amazing run to take down the Falcons of Air Force. And it's the over the 45-yard line. Easy Larkin taking the legs at a Shane Porter. They will get by Rapidi. Keeps it on the ball in the end zone.
coverage is blocked. Dozy got a hand on it.
Facing off against the UTSA with a Black Knights win, clinching the American Athletic Conference regular season title and hosting Dukes the AAC title game against Tulane on Friday night.
Somebody got to come in here, want to beat us, and we're not going to give them the best fight we got? Hell no.
Back to throw pressure coming, they get to it. It's Caleb Fortner. Comes down with Bryson. He's got it. Touchdown. 35. That's got it. Daly drops, wins the catch. He's loose. Here's his quarterback.
To think in the first year of the American Conference, with the up and down season of last year, Jeff Lumpkin has his guys hosting an American Conference championship game at Mikey Stadium. You couldn't have written the script any better.
Soldiers! I fight what I'm told and I win what I fight.
Yeah, right.
One-sided championship. You gotta do it one play at a time. Do your job, fundamentals, assignment, and it's the next play. Be determined. Every play, you're gonna do your best for the guy next to you.
Gronotte got a hand up. The ball comes out and only recovers. Gronotte came through on the tip. Firing his left into the end zone. Army brings a blitz. Gets his pass incomplete. Down and flat. And Army putting the finishing touches on a conference championship. Faulkner's got it back at midfield. Interception. He jumped on Jimmy May. Green all muscle into the end zone. A dominating end to an historic season for the Army football team. The Black Knights win 12 games in a season for the first time ever, defeating Louisiana Tech 27-6 in the Independence Bowl.
Great video. I'd like to shout out Chris Jan, Bo Rockler, our cadet video managers, putting that all together. What a great job looking back at the 2024 Army football season. What a season this was, from opening night through the victory in the Independence Bowl at the end of December. 12 wins for the first time ever, and one of just 7 teams with 12 wins in FBS. A first ever conference championship in Army's first year in the American Athletic Conference. Black Knights finished the season leading the nation in rushing offense, red zone defense, and time of possession. Army now 12-5 in its last 17 Service Academy games, 6 wins over Air Force in the last 8 meetings, a 6th bowl appearance, and 5th bowl victory in the last 9 years. And now to talk about this season, I'd like to welcome the leader of the Army football program, the head coach, Jeff Monken.
Welcome, everybody. Here to celebrate the 2024 season and honor our senior class. That's what this night is here, or what this night is about. On behalf of our team, I want to just start with some thank yous and recognizing some folks. Though they weren't able to join us, Lieutenant General Steve Gillen, our superintendent, the Dean of the Academic Board, Brigadier General Shane Reeves, our Commandant of Cadets, Brigadier General R.J. Garcia, as well as our Command Sergeant Majors, Bretta and Creighton. And here tonight, special thanks to our Director of Athletics, Tom Theodorakis, AKA Theo, his executive staff, and their team at Army West Point Athletic Association, Trish Brandenburg, Abby Howard. Abby, it's so good to see you. I saw Abby earlier. Abby, it's so good to see you back. Welcome back. Dan McCarthy, that leadership team that's here. Members of our media, you guys know Ken Kreitzer. We see Ken at almost every practice, and we see him at every game. Ken, thanks for being here and supporting our team in that way. A big thanks to Jen Guzman, my executive assistant. This night, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. every year, the banquets, this award ceremony tonight, the reception, just the job she does and the time she puts into it and what she does to support our team. Leah Eberts, our Director of Football Operations, Kyle Highland, our Assistant DFO, Clayton Kendrick Holmes, the Chief of Staff, Rich DeMarco and the Army radio team. What a great job they do. Rich does a great job with these things, the radio show and the luncheons and the highlights and the voice of EA Sports and everything he's got going, but the voice of Army football, and we appreciate Rich. Jimmy Belladone and the maintenance staff and all that they do. They keep our building up to snuff and cleaned and you know, garbage out, and we don't have to do that, and the appreciation I have for them. Tim Kelly and Jackie McCann, our training staff. Dr. Ness, who's here, our chiropractor, great to have him here and all he does for us. Tommy Cancelosi and the equipment staff, the time that they put in, his managers. Chris and Bo, who Rich mentioned, the video managers, and the time that they put into our program, and so we can do things like this and daily videos and our practice and game film. Eric Sapensky and the Sports Information Department. What a beautiful program here. This is first class, and that's just an example of the work he does and the professionalism and the time that he puts into it. Colonel John Baskerville and our OREP staff. There are a number of OREPs for the parents that are here. Just the support that's in place, the safety nets, and all the people that are here for our young men and for your sons. Steve Shalhoub joining us from the Army Football Club. We appreciate Steve being here and representing the Army Football Brotherhood. He's going to present some tokens to each of our seniors tonight. Father Matt, who isn't here, but he and Chaplain Eskin and the job that they do, gosh, they're here every day with our team, doing the faith builders and in the locker room and supporting our guys in a way that only they can. Special guest Mike and Emily Gann, who are here. Thank you so much. We're going to hear from Emily. And to our players and their families, to our managers and their families, to our coaches and support staff and their families, a special welcome and a thank you. And my wife and my daughters, and the way they support me in Army football. You know, there are some professions, college football coaching being one of them, where high school coaches' wives, just the time that their husbands spend with their teams and other people's kids, and all they do. My wife does everything in our house, everything. I couldn't do this job without her. So thanks to the wives of our coaches and those wives of coaches everywhere. A special thanks to this academy, the United States Military Academy, the United States Army, who we represent every day. The opportunity to represent this great institution. We continue to be fortunate to represent the United States Military Academy at West Point and the men and women that serve. And you know, we are a part of the Army team and the greatest fighting force that the world has ever known. And so to represent those men and women and wear the same uniform is just an honor and a privilege for us. And you know, that we should be thankful for to be here. Know that your family and friends are very proud of you and proud of all of us who are part of this program. So, as I said, tonight is to recognize our seniors and to honor them, and to also celebrate some great moments over the course of this season. The championship season, winning the American Athletic Conference in the very first year, the determination, the grit of everybody sitting here, all of our team and staff and everybody that touches this program. So there's a lot of individual awards and accolades people are going to recognize, which is a lot of fun. And that's what happens when you have a winning season and you have a championship season. There's a lot of individuals that get recognized, and rightly so. But behind every individual accolade, there's a team of people that help that individual get that award, and that's none more true than in football. You know, a guy can be a great basketball player and score a lot of points and be the leading scorer in the NBA or in the NCAA and not play on a great team. Somebody can go win a national championship or an Olympic medal in track or golf or tennis or an individual sport. It can't be done in football. There's not a single individual accolade that's won that didn't have other people be a part of it. And so this is a celebration of this team. Every one of these awards is. And so we're gonna have a good time celebrating all the guys that are recognized and our seniors. And so, Rich, I'll turn it back over to you. Let's have some fun. Here you go.
I'll ask Coach to stay up here in just a moment. We are going to honor our firstclassmen. So we ask that each firstie, after Coach Munkin talks about you, enter stage right, come across the stage, and then exit stage left. And Steve Shalhoub from the Army Football Club is here to give each and every one of our firstclassmen a letter, an invitation into the Army Football Club. So with that, let's turn it back over to Coach Munkin.
All right, I'll introduce each of you, and you come on up. Like Rich said, I'm going to present you with a coin, and we'll go from here. So first, Mike Trenoskis, one of our managers. So Mike was recruited as a safety out of Catholic High in Baton Rouge. We got a little bit of a pipeline. Coach Vitti started that pipeline and has continued to bring guys in from that program. I think we've had 4 now from that school. So he transitioned from a role on the field to a recruiting role with our staff and did a tremendous job. These jobs behind the scenes, they are really unappreciated and really unnoticed. But when you have an unofficial visit or an official visit, and we got players that host guys and they go off with the recruits, you know who's left to take the trash out, clean up all the food, and get everything ready for the next morning? It's our recruiting staff. And Mike did that. He's done that just faithfully and served our team in that way. He's been just a great member of this brotherhood, and I know how much appreciation our recruiting staff has for him, and we do too. Mike, thanks a lot. Rich Guns McDermott. So for the parents who are wondering why we call him Guns, he likes to wear the sleeveless shirts. So he entered our program as a kicker. He's from Rockwall, Texas. It's the second kicker, Cole Talley, being the first from Rockwall, Texas. Rich transitioned to an off-the-field role and helped coach Saturnio and our special teams unit as a sophomore, and then took a sabbatical as a junior and focused on academics. He returned this year, and really that was at the behest of our leadership council. They asked if Rich could come back, and we were glad to have him back. His teammates and all of us on the staff really respect him and the job that he's done supporting the Soft team. Thanks, my man. Malik James, Richmond, Virginia. Malik came in as a defensive lineman, had a setback with an injury, tore his ACL in a practice, and transitioned to an off-the-field role, and became a manager. And to do that, to humbly serve that way, that's not easy. We've had other guys do that as well, and I have great respect for guys that do that. He became our head football manager, head equipment manager, cadet manager. Outside of our equipment room, there's a list of all the head equipment managers that have been cadets here, and there are presidents and generals, and in fact, I'm told that almost 25% of that list rose to general officer. So his odds have increased. Just did a great job leading the younger guys, the younger managers that joined the team, and kind of showing them the ropes. And this is a guy that he was there before everybody got there. He was there after everybody left. First guy in, first guy out, which is what you should do as a leader. And it's been a great example. His dad was a coach as well. He's a football guy, and I appreciated having you around. John O'Horvath, Maitland, Florida. John O's branch of the infantry, and if there was anybody built for it, it's this guy right here. Without ever playing a snap at this school, without ever playing a snap. Don't laugh, some of you guys won't play a snap either. Just the way it goes. He impacted this program as much as anybody that's been a part of this program, and I think his teammates would attest to that. He transitioned from a role on the field to off the field, and having an opportunity to honor John O, really, it's my pleasure to do that. And he's a prior enlisted soldier. He's a former player at University of Central Florida. Went into the Army, and he served as a soldier and then came to our prep school. And when he came to the prep school, we didn't know anything about him. And he came out for the team, walked on. He instantly was a leader for the prep school team. Just his maturity and his experience. And when you serve in the Army, you get some street cred. And I think he really helped the guys. There's guys in this room that he was teammates with and would attest to that fact. He developed such credibility with our guys that I think they really probably saw him in the weight room as the 6th strength coach. I know our strength staff did. He served in that role, and there's very few guys that can move from a player role to a role of authority. And he didn't abuse it, but he did a great job with it. And I think Coach Hughes and the strength staff would just attest to the job that he's done. He spoke in front of our team this past preseason camp, and it was awesome. The message, it was selfless, it was serving, and it was all about team, and it was fantastic. And he's going to go in, he's going to be a tremendous infantry officer, and he's going to kick butt with his unit there. If he ever gets out of, I told him this after he talked to our team, if he ever gets out of the Army and decides to become a strength coach, I would hire this guy immediately. He is awesome. John, thanks so much. Bo Kite, Glen Allen, Virginia. Bo's branching FA, field artillery, or football alumni, for those that know it well. Bo was the athlete of the year in the state of Virginia as a high school senior. He's a high school quarterback. He's a 2-time state wrestling champion in the Virginia Wrestling Hall of Fame. He was a freshman here when they put him in. That's how good a wrestler he was. Recruited as a linebacker, played a little tight end, a little H-back, and then transitioned to a role with our strength team as well. And served, as you guys saw, every day. He's out there passing out drinks, passing out snacks, cleaning up the weight room, handling the nutrition center, helping Alyssa and her staff. Just selfless. And we got to have guys like that in our program. We got to have selfless people who just put the team first. And that's what he did. It wasn't about him, it's about this team. And he was willing to do whatever was asked of him, and I appreciate that. So I know he's going to do a great job out there as an Army officer, just his humility and his toughness, and I sure appreciate you. All right, not here tonight, but I'm going to recognize him. Hamilton Baker from Daphne, Alabama. He's now out at Bullock somewhere and doing big Army stuff, but we're certainly proud of him, and as well as all these seniors who are going to be commissioned here in a couple of months. Hamilton overcame an ACL injury, went on a medical leave of absence, and this guy comes from a town in Alabama that football's king there, and football's really important to Hamilton. And he wanted to make sure he got a chance to play his entire career. And I respect people that want to play this game, that want to find ways to not have this game go away as a player. And he enjoyed playing, and so he came back. He became a special team stalwart for us. He was on all the special teams, and he did that from a pretty early age in his career here as a sophomore. And then when he came back for his junior and senior year, he continued to do that. He transitioned from linebacker to nickel this year as a senior to add some depth there that we needed. He had 5 tackles this year in the TFL. played in 22 career games, and lettered each of the last 2 seasons. So we'll give a clap for Hamilton Baker. Josiah Banks, Louisville, North Carolina. He's branching engineers. I know it says Winston-Salem. Everybody likes to take the big town close by. Josiah played a lot of special teams for us over the years. He found a home at nickel this year, or what we call Apache. In layman's terms, that's the nickel position, or the nickel back. He contributed on defense. He got a start on defense this year. Really developed over the course of his career the strength and his physical development. And even through position changes, he played in 30 games. He played in 30 games here at Army. That's a lot of football games when you're playing a 4-year career. Had his first collegiate start this year against Rice. 12 tackles this season, including a tackle for loss and a forced fumble, and this is his 3rd letter. Great job. Adam Cash, Arlington, Texas. Cash made the switch from safety to linebacker. So we've had some really good players like Adam that have made that move from safety down to linebacker, and he added a lot of depth for us and played some snaps on defense, but special teams was his home. He played on every major special team. He's been doing that the last 3 years. He's rugged and tough and plays the game really, really hard. Started on every special team. So punt block, kickoff return. He's a starter on every one of them. And you start adding those plays up, that's a lot of plays he played in his career. So 29 career games, 18 tackles with a quarterback sack, and this is his 3rd letter of his career as well. Great job. David Cross in Clearwater, Florida. David was a little bit of a journeyman too. He's a defensive lineman, had a brief career on the offensive line before settling in at tight end, and has been a starter the last couple years. He's played in 33 games. So start considering, how many games there are. It's a lot of games. He played in a lot of football games for us, 14 starts. Caught the first pass of his career in the bowl game this year for 52 yards. And I was hoping he could find pay dirt, but almost. But he was really a tough, rugged player. I remember his junior year, we played at UTSA, and the next week we had the TV crew come in on Friday, and the first person they wanted to talk about was David Cross. They were so impressed with the game that he played and his toughness, and so 3-time letter winner and 33 games. So you young guys think about your career. That's awesome, and I hope every one of you guys will have a chance to do that. David, you made the most of it. Good job. Bryson Daly, Abrams, Texas. I'm not really sure where to start. He's an infantry officer. I'll start with that. But what a season. And he made a career out of this season. So maybe the most rugged, physical quarterback in all of football. I don't mean just college football. I mean all of football this year. He earned the starting job as a junior. This is a guy that you see potential in players. I think maybe it was your freshman year, you ran down on the kickoff a couple of times. His sophomore year, he carried the ball maybe 8 times. I think 2 of them were long touchdowns. So earned the job a year ago and then proceeded to rewrite the record books as a senior. So 29 games in his career, 23 starts, rushed for 1,659 yards as a senior and 2,723 for his career. 41 rushing touchdowns in his career, 32 of those this year, which set an all-time NCAA record by a quarterback. And consider this, only the 6th player, not 6th quarterback, only the 6th player in college football history to run for 30 or more touchdowns in a season. They've been playing college football a long time, so a great season. Passed for 1,007 yards this season, 1,920 for his career, along with 16 passing touchdowns. He's the second player in Army history to rush and pass for 1,000 yards in the same season. Broke Army records for rushing TDs in a season, this year obviously, in a game, 5 this year against East Carolina, and TDs responsible for in a season. 11 games with 100+ yards rushing, which is a school record. All AAC first team quarterback and conference player of the year, the regional player of the year, the MVP of the American Athletic Conference Championship game and the bowl game, and the National Quarterback Club Quarterback of the Year, Bryson Davis. Max DiDomenico, Church, Texas. Via Connecticut. So I thought he was a tried and true Texas guy, and all the guys like, Coach, he's really from Connecticut. So it's okay, we love you just the same. And this is one tough dude right here. So Max, we found Max really late in the recruiting process, which he will attest to. And I don't remember how we happened upon it, but I do recall film, watching it 4 years ago, of him playing quarterback in the Alamo Dome, taking his team up and down the field. Rugged and tough runner, could throw the ball really well, just made plays, and we just felt like, you know what, this is a guy, he's a good football player, he can help us somewhere. We really recruited him and didn't know exactly what position he was going to play. But we really felt like he could make an impact, and playing quarterback in our offense, it's hard to walk through the doors and start as a quarterback as a freshman. When he got into preseason camp, this is a true freshman or a direct freshman, so we really didn't know. We didn't know if you know, he'd be on the scout team like everybody else, but we're just so impressed with his intellect, his ability to learn quickly, and he's physical. He was ready to play. So he did play a good bit as a freshman. Was not a starter, but one of the rare freshmen to see time. It's just really hard. It's hard in college football to do that in general. It's certainly very hard to do that here, especially after going through Beast Barracks and all the things that you guys do. We're not always right when we say, you know what, we see a guy that we think's got potential, but we were right about Max, and he made it right. He had a great career. Had a big interception versus the Squids a year ago, stopping a potential scoring opportunity. They threw a ball down there that would have got him in scoring position. That was a big play for him. He made a lot of big plays, and he quarterbacked the defense. Just his leadership as a team captain. We had great captains this year. Bryson being one of them, Max being one of them. Just the leadership that he provided, and aggressive as a leader. I talk a lot about that to the guys that are on our current team and have. He always recognized the need for leadership and was willing to step in. And that's not easy to do, but he did it. And I appreciate him so much. 46 career games. It's a lot of games. So over the course of his career, I have to do the math real quick, but I think we're at 51 games, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. No, 55 games. So 46 of those he played in, which is pretty awesome. So he had a great career, 27 starts, was first team all AAC selection this season, second team all independent as a junior. This is his 4th year earning a letter. That's hard to do. Great job, my man. So also not here, Second Lieutenant Connor Finucane, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's branched infantry, and he's likely out at Bullock right now as well. Played in more games, 61, than any other player in program history. Started as a freshman and started all 14 games this past season at left tackle. 52 starts in his career, including 51 consecutive starts, which is an Army football record. I watched him wrestle at wrestling practice when he was a senior. The only person in the room that could wrestle at practice was the assistant coach. And it was like a street fight. He was already physically really developed, rugged and tough, played with an edge, and you could see that, I mean, the instant I met him. He was a team captain in 2023, and through his dedication and professionalism this past summer, serving in SLE and leadership details, he went to Air Assault School. Originally didn't think he was going to be able to play this year. And because he impressed everybody on this campus, and through that professionalism and that humble spirit that he took on all those leadership opportunities, those jobs, the superintendent approached him and said, I want you to represent, and I think it's right that you should. And he made the most of it. So helped us this past fall win the Joe Moore Award, second team All AAC. Was Phil Steele All Independent in 22 and 23, and he earned 5 Army letters. So let's give a hand for Tom. Brett Jarena, Valrico, Florida, lovingly known as Bert. He played as much football as just about anybody in this senior class. Started on every special team. And he really became a force for the Soft team. A huge block punt against Coastal Carolina a year ago in 2023. Jabril House called that one. Really a tough, rugged, fast linebacker. I remember he was a freshman on the scout team. We put him in different spots to blitz, and frankly, people had trouble blocking him when he was a freshman. He played his butt off every day in practice. He invested so much in the mental part of the game, and particularly the spring of his junior year going into his senior year, it was his determination that he was just going to put himself in position to be able to help us on every down, whether it was on defense or on special teams. And I really commend a guy for doing that, because it's easy to just go home after practice. It's easy to just come up when you got to be there. It's not easy to make the trip up from the barracks to just spend time looking at film and spend time talking to your coach, but he did that. Took part in the NFL Pro Day last week, which is awesome to see him do that. Performed really well. Played in 39 career games. I'm trying to do the math in my head. So 13, 12, 12, and 14. What's that? 48 plus 4. I did it was wrong. 52 total opportunities. He had 52 total opportunities. Played in 39 games. That's pretty darn good. 72 tackles. 42 of those were this year. That's a lot of tackles if you want to look at the tackling stats. 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. This is his 3rd letter. Great job. Trey Gronotte, Crestview Hills, Kentucky, Branson Field Auditorium. Persevere, 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 and the tide will turn. That's the story of this guy's career. He just kept battling. And many of the guys that are in our senior class experience the same, that other guys are in front of them, and they're just fighting their way up the depth chart and continuing to work and putting in the time and practicing fundamentals and being there every day and not allowing myself to feel sorry for myself or cry the blues because I'm not where I want to be on the depth chart. And he earned his way to the top of the depth chart this year, had a fantastic senior season. Was our starting kicker this year, was 54 of 54 on PATs. That is a new Army school record for PATs in the season. He's 57 of 57 on PATs in 21 career games, which is 3rd best in school history for total, and 100%. You can't do better than that. That's a school record. 10 of 12 on career field goals, kicked 2 field goals versus Air Force this year, which were big. Obviously, those are close games. This one was too, but his biggest play, we saw it on the highlights, the AAC title game, when he stripped the ball from the returner and hoists the broad axe on the sideline. And that effort epitomized the determination of our team that night. It really did. He was determined to go make a play there, and we all were, and really proud of him. David Hoyt, Tampa, Florida. Branson Infantry, man, you are slim. I haven't seen you in a while. It seems like yesterday I was sitting in Tampa Catholic in the front office. They've got a conference room that kind of overlooks the fields across the playing fields. They got softball fields and stuff across the way. And Dave was a high school senior at the time. I guess it was January. And we sat in there and talked, and that's 5 years ago. He already committed to us at the time, and he was really excited to come and join our team. He's been through a lot in his tenure here, and you guys know all the things he's been through, including injury and personal setbacks, his family and the challenges. But man, what an incredibly positive person. Attitude and effort. We all control that ourselves. Nobody controls that for us. And nobody did it better than David. I knew what he's going through. We all knew what he's going through. Showed up with a smile, always ready to work, loving his brothers. Just an incredible guy. He really developed as a player along the way and as a leader. And a lot of us come in to college and we're freshmen, we're 18 years old, a little immature, and we have an opportunity to grow. And he's grown not only as a player, he's grown as a leader. And we certainly recognize that. And I'm excited for him. Be able to branch infantry and lead soldiers is going to be awesome. He's going to do a great job. Played in 41 career games with 4 starts and three letters. So this is a guy that quietly played a whole bunch for us, whether it be on kick plays or offensive plays. And man, I'm so proud of you. Good job. Bill Katsigiannis, Katy, Texas. Branson FA, fresh off of shoulder surgery, passed the IOCT and the ACFT so that he could get shoulder surgery. So to do that with a shoulder that is not healthy, much respect. So that's to start off with. Started every game of the 2024 season at left guard. In fact, was a projected starter a year ago and got hurt in preseason camp. And through that, again, just talking about guys that are committed to the brotherhood. Can I trust you? Are you committed? Do you care about me? Team first guy. Never complained, worked his butt off, played a bunch of plays for us a year ago. But what he became this year as a player, there's just a point where we had a really good offensive line. But there was a point in the season there where he was playing as good as anybody on the offensive line. And tough, he's physical, he's got an edge. He's been through a lot here, but he certainly made the most of his senior season. Paved the way for an FBS rushing title, along with the Joe Moore Award on the offensive line. He was first team All-AAC this year, and first team Sports Illustrated All-American. Chance Keith, Biloxi, Mississippi. Branson Armour. He was our starter at nickel, the Apache position this season. He's been a special teams player throughout his career, and Jimmy Charlo graduated a year ago, and that job was wide open, and Chance earned it, and did a great job, made the most of it. He's the only player we've had since I've been the coach here from the state of Mississippi, and so he had to shoulder that responsibility, and he represented well. Everybody in that state be proud. of him and what he did this year, what he's become as a leader, and what he'll be as an officer. Played in 34 career games, so that's a lot of football games again. And 13 starts, all coming this year, 43 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack. Biggest game this year was the Air Force game. We needed it. He had 7 tackles and a TFL. He's lettered for the 3rd time. Good job. Jordan Booby Law. Indianapolis, Indiana, branch of infantry. Booby's one of the most likable guys on the team. Always a positive attitude and just a loyal teammate. And I think everybody would attest to that. Just watching his career and the attitude he had this year, that tells you he's loyal to this team. Really athletic player for his size. He contributed a whole lot throughout his career. Dave Clawson, who just retired as the coach at Wake Forest, was there 11 years. We played against him, I believe, 4 times in my career here. We were preparing for a game. Dave and I had been assistant coaches together years ago, and we've known each other. And before the game, we were talking before the game. He talked about one guy before the game, number 77. He said, that guy can play for a lot of people. He's really athletic. He's a really good player. He's talking about Booby. And Booby did. Booby really had some great football games and impressed a lot of people with the way he played. When other coaches recognize your ability, that's certainly noteworthy, but I think everybody in this program recognized his value to us as a player. So over the course of his career, 41 games with 23 starts. He lost his starting job. So he didn't start as a regular this year, but he had been a starter. So think about how difficult that is to go from starting 23 games to not being a regular starter. And that's not a knock on his ability. You know, we got other players, some good players. And to do that, and to have the attitude that he had, to come to practice like he did, to work, that just says a lot for his character and who he is as a leader and who he is as a man, and other people are going to respect it too. He gets out in the Army, soldiers are going to respect that, fellow officers are going to respect that, and I certainly do. Had a lot of big blocks, big plays, but the most memorable play of his career came in a win over Air Force in 2021. We were down in Arlington, Texas at the Rangers Stadium, and we're down inside the 5, and an Army player fumbles the ball into the end zone, and Booby was hustling and playing hard, and just so happens the ball's right there, and he fell on it for a touchdown. It was the game-winning touchdown. So 5 varsity letters at Army. Man, I'm so glad he's on our team. Kyle Lewis, Scottsdale, Arizona, branch of infantry. Kyle's a tough, physical, rugged player. What impressed me the most is how he grew as a man and grew as a confident leader at West Point. So, as a veteran player and a team captain, he's had a lot of opportunities to address our football team. Some he was invited to address our team, some he took it upon himself to address our team. And rightly so, he's a captain. But if I could measure the difference in the confidence and the professionalism between the first time he addressed the team as a freshman, which he had an opportunity to do, and the last time that he addressed the team, you can't measure it. I mean, I can't put it in words. It would be very much in line with the difference in the progress he made physically, just how he grew. I mean, he was a really thin defensive lineman, not ready to play college football, and he grew into a tough, rugged, strong football player. And he put the work in. You got to go to that weight room every day, but you got to move weights around to do it. And he did it professionally as well. And I'm most proud of him for that, for who he's become as a leader. Holding people accountable. He held people accountable, wasn't afraid to do that as a team captain. And that's a way to love people. He loved his team, he loved to win. So he's gonna hold people accountable, and I appreciate that about him. Knew what needed to be done and what needed to be said, and he was there to do it. He did it, and he said it. He's a terrific player. 26 career games, 20 starts. 3-time letter winner. Versus Air Force this year, 6 tackles, 3 solo tackles, and a sack. That guy was on a mission in that game. To do that as a defensive lineman is not easy to do. In his career as a Black Knight, 51 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and made the All-AAC second team this year. Great job. Andre Miller, Savannah, Georgia, branch of field artillery. I remember recruiting Dre, going to Savannah, Georgia, which I call my second home, to visit he and his family. The first time I met him was in Macon, Georgia. We were at a camp. He was at a camp participating in the big showcase they have there every summer. And we were kind of battling other academies at that time to get some face time with Andre and to be able to recruit him. Ultimately, I'm glad he figured it out and figured out they were all full of crap and came here to play for America's team. Dre's one of the most positive people I know. Just always a positive attitude. Always trying to be positive and get positive messages to the team. And every team needs people like that. They need guys that are always feeding the team with positive energy, and that was his guy. He pushes people, but it all comes from a place of a servant's heart, and that's who he is. Really good, he grew into a good player for us. 27 career games with all 4 starts coming this season, recorded 30 tackles, 23 of those this year, 9 solo tackles, a tackle for loss, a 2-time letter winner, but I'll say most importantly, he has now joined the club of fatherhood and soon to be husband, and I know he's going to be great at both of those. Will Montesi, Greenwich, Connecticut, branch of the infantry, tough as nails, worked and worked to find a way to contribute. Played tight end most of his career until this season, and we moved him to H-back in Coach Worley's system. Coach Worley kind of recognized really that, you know what, this is a guy that we can find a place for, and there's a position in this system for him. And it was perfect. It was a perfect job for him. And it's really his skill set, his body type. He was kind of one of those guys that's in between. It's like a fullback in the NFL. Not everybody has one. Not every team plays with one, but teams that play with one, they got to have a good one. And that's really kind of the position that it became for him. He's kind of like that NFL fullback that plays in the H position, plays in the backfield, gets asked to do a lot of different things, has to learn a lot of different positions, which he did. He took a lot of pride in that. And so really valuable as a blocker for us. So played in 27 career games. So we're not talking about a guy that just played for the first time this year. Played in 27 career games. Had a big 20-yard catch against Tulsa this year, which was awesome to see. 2-time letter winner. Great job. Cade Patton, Allen, Texas. Air Defense Artillery. So we really do have a unique and special band of brothers in this program. Cade came in this program as a freshman, and we cut him after his freshman year. And nobody likes to have that happen. It stinks. We don't like doing it, but it's hard to be on the other side of the table when that happens. He wanted to continue to play football and stay at West Point. So he found his way to the sprint team and played on the sprint team. And really it was just a year ago, past spring, Coach Dixon came to me and said, Coach, think about bringing Cade Patton back. I said, it's been a long time since Cade was on our practice field. And he said, you know, he's been working. The guys really like him. We got some depth issues. We need some guys. And you know, he's in shape, and I think he'd do a good job for us. So I said, okay. And I'm glad we did. I'm glad we brought him back. I think everybody in this class was excited to see him come back. He's beloved by his teammates, had a great attitude. It was apparent that his classmates were excited to have him back to play with us. I know that just the sense of urgency that he had and the way that he was practicing in preseason camp, Coach Saturnio said, you know, that's a guy that's hungry, that really has a sense of urgency to play, to make this team. And so I appreciated that. Played in 4 career games, earned his first varsity letter of his career this year. Great job. Tyler Rafferty, Newburgh, New York. Branson FA. So this is a guy. This is a guy that had double X. That's right. This is a guy that just kept developing over the course of his career. So first off, he made it out of the mean streets of Newburgh, so much respect for that. If you don't know, Newburgh, per capita, #1 for crime in the United States of America. So no offense to anybody from Newburgh, except the Tyler. But watching this guy develop, all you guys that are in that class with him can attest to how much he developed and continued to grow. I mean, I saw him as a high school senior, and then as a college senior. I mean, it's 2 different people. And certainly when you guys get ready for graduation and for parents, you've seen these guys that, you know, what they go off to West Point as and what they play as seniors, 2 different things. And man, did he put some work in. Ran track in high school, slim guy, but man, he was a defensive lineman, had a defensive line body, and was just rugged and tough. He put the work in and played in 12 games and lettered twice. And man, I appreciate the effort you put in. Casey Reynolds, Cold Spring Harbor, New York. I'm sorry, I was an English minor, so I do know that E comes before H. You got that? Okay. There we go. So, it's really tough to play one Division I sport. He played 2. He's still playing now on the lacrosse team, excelling at both. Excelling as a football player, excelling as a lacrosse player. All transparency, I didn't want him to play lacrosse. I wanted him to just play football, but he figured it out. And no more so than this past off season. I think just the experience of going through 2 sports for a couple of years, and you just learn how to navigate all of it and handle all of it with workouts and lifting and all those things, and he figured it out. He found a balance and had his very best football season this year, and just what he meant to our team this year and the 12 victories we had. Casey was a big part of it. Played in 34 career games with 5 starts, 694 yards in his career receiving, caught 20 passes this year for 457 yards and 3 touchdowns. So you start doing the math of what we threw for and how many yards he had receiving. He's a huge contributor for us. Biggest catch had to be the one on the highlight film. It was a 50-yard catch. He kind of went up over 2 guys and made a great grab against UAB. Double covered, leaping catch for pay dirt. 2-time letter winner. And in a couple of weeks, he's going to beat Navy in lacrosse. And they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. And they're going to win that sucker. All right, now in alphabetical order, Matthew Rhodes, Auburn, Alabama. Branson F.A. He's a long levered punter who started as our holder. So, tall punters, those guys typically have, really long punts, and we've had some 6'4", 6'5" punters here. They can kick the crap out of it. But you know what? There's a lot of competition at that position, and you only start one guy. It's like playing quarterback. There's one quarterback trots out there, and you don't run them in play after play. There's a lot of positions on our team. A new linebacker goes in, or a new offensive lineman, or a new wide receiver, or a new corner. You don't do that at some positions, punter being one of them. And so he embraced his role. He started as our holder. It's a starting position. So there's a lot of other guys that like to have a role that they know they're going to play every single Saturday. This guy had a role every single Saturday, and we rattle off all of those accolades of our kicker, Gronotte. There was a guy that had to hold every one of those. And so the snap, and every snap isn't exactly the same. It's not like a T-ball where you just take it off a tee and put it in the same spot. You got to find a way to get that thing down, and so a huge part of that. Embraced his role. And it's not an easy job, and it goes mostly unnoticed until you run a fake and you house call it, which you did against FAU. So we saw that look on previous kicks. So kind of figured they were going to be lined up the same way and bring the same rush, and they did. And he took it around the left end, and the guy that actually was going to pitch off of, he closed and tried to block the kick as well, so he was out there all by himself. He got Gronotte the whole time saying, pitch it, I'm open, pitch it, I'm open. And he made a guy miss, got a really good block from our long snapper, and scored a touchdown with two hands on the ball, crossing the goal line just like he should. It was a great play. Played in 16 career games, earned his letter this year with a great season. Good job. Tyrell Robinson, Dallas, Georgia. Via the 516, branch of military police, AKA T-Rob. Burst onto the scene as a freshman against Middle Tennessee. Opening game of his career. And he carried the ball, I don't know how many times that day, and everybody's like, man, who is that guy? My kids and my wife, they watch the games, they don't pay attention. I came home, they're like, who's that new slot back you got over there? So he was, everybody took notice of his athleticism and his explosiveness. He's perhaps the most dynamic and explosive player we've had since I've been here. One of only 12 players in the history of Army football to surpass 3,000 all-purpose yards. 1,006, that's worth a clap, yes it is. 1,624 yards rushing, 719 yards receiving, over 800 return yards in his career, along with 14 career TDs. Had a ton of big moments, but the two catches for 118 yards to beat Air Force in 2021, an electrifying punt return versus Villanova in 2022. Unfortunately, later that year, he suffered a torn ACL against Wake Forest, and it put him out for the rest of the year. Came back, battled back, tore it again in 2023, yet finished the season, and played the season out, and helped us beat Navy in 2023 and win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, and then went to surgery. And here he is, playing, scoring touchdowns, and I got so much respect for you. His positive attitude remained, even when he was injured. When you're hurt, you go to the training room, and other guys are in the weight room, or you go to the training room and other guys are up eating a meal, or you go to the training room and other guys are sleeping in. And it's easy to kind of drift away mentally and emotionally, and he never let that happen. He continued to lead, he stayed engaged, didn't feel sorry for himself, at least not outwardly. I'm sure anybody gets in that situation, you feel hurt, and you want to be there. But the way he served the team in that way can't be measured. And it's an example to everybody in our program. Had a stellar career, helped the Black Knights win more games in the season than ever before. He's a 5-time letter winner, 2022 Phil Steele first-team punt returner, and a first-team All-Independent in 2021. Great job on that. Cam Schur, Cumming, Georgia. Field artillery. Cam's a testament to player development. Struggled to contribute early in his career, just to develop and grow and get strong. And you know what? There's other guys that are 3 years older, 2 years older, that have been in the weight room for 2 or 3 years longer, been in the offense. This year, he contributed on Saturdays in a big way. Really kind of came into the rotation as a junior last season. But we saw him this year get a return on all that investment. Played in all 14 of our games this year. Had on the highlights, you saw the 18-yard touchdown catch from D. Cole on ESPN Thursday night. One of 7 catches this season for 83 yards. He's going to assist our staff as an AI next year. Good job. Lucas Scott, Binghamton, New York. Branch and Field Artillery. Started his career as a defensive lineman, and after a brief stint as a tight end, moved to O-line. And it's not easy to change positions for a lot of reasons. But it's a great move for him and a great move for our team. 26 career games with 25 starts. So just about every game he played in, he started. The last 25 straight games, both guard and tackle. He's a 2-time letter winner, 2nd-team All-AAC, 2nd-team Football Writers Association All-American as a senior. Certainly a vital role in helping us win that Joe Moore Award. He, like Brett Jarena and Casey Reynolds, who were part of the NFL Pro Day, so was Lucas, ran a really good 40 time, really impressed the pro scouts that were there. So proud of him. Hope that works out. And he's got a great career no matter what he does. Really proud of him. Trey Sophia, Austin, Texas. Trey's branch in armor. This future armor officer spent time at the outside linebacker position, or dog, and defensive end. At one point was prepared to take reps at both. So learn both positions. And that's a lot. You guys will attest to play defense, to learn 2 different positions and all that goes along with it. One is difficult enough. He really grew and changed physically over his career. Just the strength and his ability and the body it takes to play defensive end at this level of college football, and the work that takes. 37 career games, a lot of football played. 2 starts, played in all 14 games this season, tallying 11 tackles and a sack to add to his career totals of 30 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and his highlight was this year against Tulsa, 6 tackles, again from the defensive line position, 4 solo tackles in that game, and a 3-time letter winner. Great job. Miles Stewart, New Orleans, Louisiana. Branch and Engineers. He's one of the most unselfish players we have in our program. And Miles tried to find a way to contribute no matter what it was. Even from his freshman year, we needed people to help in recruiting. He was there to help in recruiting. We needed guys to play a special team on a scout team special team. He'd run down 6 times. I mean, he just would do anything to help this team. Very unselfish. And that carried out through his career. And I think all the players, especially, most importantly, would attest to that. Played a lot of football and did it all. Special teams, slot back, H-back, played in 30 games with 12 starts, made a ton of plays to help other players get stats. So as a blocker and being out in front of him unselfishly, just a blocking machine for us on offense and a veteran of the special teams. Caught a TD pass this year, which you saw against East Carolina, returned a block punt. Again, Jabril on the block punt, and Miles picking that up against UConn for a touchdown as a sophomore. 3-time letter winner, and really proud of the effort and example he was to everybody in this program. Damon Washington, East Brunswick, New Jersey. He's not here, okay? Another one of our local guys, as you call it, from New Jersey, played on special teams throughout his career, a veteran corner, struggled with a lot of injuries, and you know, that certainly affects playing time, but still played in 25 games over the course of his career and had 1 start, so let's give a round of applause for Damon. Cody Winokur, Severna Park, Maryland, Branson Field Artillery. So, what a road this guy has had, and I'm gonna take a minute and talk about this guy. So, Cody's a testament to this institution and our commitment to being a developmental institution. You know, nobody comes here at 18 years old ready to go into the Army as an officer and a second lieutenant and lead soldiers. Nobody's ready to do that at 18 years old. It's a developmental institution. Cody reported our prep school in 2018 out of Archbishop Spalding High School. Played in 2 games as a freshman in 2019. As I mentioned, very difficult to play as a freshman. He played as a freshman. In 6 games as a sophomore, defensive lineman and offensive lineman. And by no fault, I still got my, okay, all right, I'm back. By no fault of anyone else but himself, and he'll attest to this, okay? And he's acknowledged this and talked to our team about it, which I appreciate. General Williams, who was superintendent at the time, set Cody on AMP, Army Mentorship Program. So again, it's a developmental institution, and the Army Mentorship Program is a developmental tool. And so Cody went in the AMP, and I frankly never thought I'd see him again, because he was immature, he wasn't ready to lead, he needed some growth, and he said, "Coach, I'll be back." And I thought to myself, okay. But you know what? He came back. And so he spent the next 2 seasons on active duty as a cannon crew member with Charlie Battery 2-15 Field Artillery Reg at Fort Drum, earned the rank of sergeant, earned the Expert Soldier Badge, attended Air Assault School, and returned in the spring of 2023 and found his way into our goal line package on defense that fall. He came back. Now, he spent almost 2 years on active duty. So you're not in the football weight room, you're not doing football workouts. So to go from January, leaving Fort Drum, and playing on the goal line package 6-7 months later, much respect. It's not easy to do. Played in 7 games in 2023. And it was over the course of that spring and summer 2023 season, and then the spring of 24 leading into this season. I think it was over this past year that we all recognized the transformation that he had made as a leader, as did our academy administration, as did the BTO and his tax. There's a lot of people that were here when he left, and there's a lot of people, the same people, when he came back. The growth of Cody as a man and his commitment to live and lead honorably was very apparent this year. And you think about the importance of that. When I first took the job here General Bob Castle, who's a former center, Army football. He had a great commitment to teach our cadets and to teach everybody at West Point, part of this institution, to live and lead honorably. He was a great example of that. And I thought Cody was a great example of that. And I know he doesn't know General Chasm well, but I know General Chasm has a great respect for Cody as much as I've talked about him and his development. He asked about all you guys. He's one of our team captains this year. Deservingly so, he earned it. Played an important role on defense for us this year as a senior, but his biggest impact was his skills as a leader. He communicates, he's confident, he's courageous as a leader. I remember him standing up in front of the team after the first win of the year in the locker room after Lehigh. He said, it's not going to be this easy. Everybody understand what it's going to take for us to be the best we can be. He was right. And he continued to push our team that way the entire year. We had 4 great captains this year, all of them. They were all great captains. And they all led in their own way. They all have their own personality. But none were as impactful as Cody in terms of his aggressiveness in helping everyone in our program maintain the standards of our culture. And if the American Athletic Conference had an all-captain team, he'd be first team. There's no doubt about it. Played in 26 career games, 2 starts, including the AAC championship game and the Independence Bowl. Was a 3-time letter winner. And Cody, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that West Point saw the potential in you. He's going to be an awesome leader in his unit. Tommy Zatello, Ponte Vedra, Florida. Also Branson football alumni. Field artillery. Tommy's a veteran of the Sauce team. Played in 34 career games. So, what did I say the number was? 52? 52 games. 3-time letter winner. Made a living on kick plays. So punt block, kickoff return. He made a living on those plays. Played a bunch of snaps for us. Took great pride in his role. I know how much Coach Saturnio leaned on him for leadership on that team. He's a tough, physical player. Had 6 tackles, and the biggest play, he saved it for the best time, was when Gronotte stripped that ball. Tommy was there to get it in the AAC championship, and we were really proud to have him on our team. How about one more time? Big round of applause for our senior class. Okay, Rich, back over to you. How about one more time for the great Rich DeMarco?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Monk, and please remain on the stage. We're now going to present our individual awards, those who garnered several accolades throughout the 2024 season. We'd also like to welcome Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Tom Peterakis, to join us on the stage to help present each award. We begin tonight with our postseason All-Star Game participants. Let's start with the Tropical Bowl, Casey Reynolds. Congrats, Casey. The Hula Bowl represented Army West Point, Lucas Scott. All right, Lucas. Casey, come back up here. We got to get a photo of you. Come on. with the trophy. We got to do this right. Congratulations, Lucas and Casey. Time now for our All-American Athletic Conference honorees. First off, the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, Bryson Daly. Congrats, Bryson. You're going to want to stay up here, though. We have our first team selections for the American Athletic Conference. Bryson, first team selections for the All-American Athletic Conference. Bryson Daly, Brady Small, Bill Katsigiannis, and MAJ DiDomenico. Congratulations to our first team honorees. Second team All-American Athletic Conference, Connor Finucane, Lucas Scott, Paulo Generelli, and Kyle Lewis. Kyle, I think your name tag is showing on your back. Okay, that's good. Congratulations to our second team selections. Third team All-American Athletic Conference, Andon Thomas and Elo Medozi. And last but not least, the American Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, Jeff Monken. Congratulations, Coach. And now we move on to our national honors. Associated Press 2024 All-America Third Team, Paulo Generelli. Congratulations, Paulo. Sports Illustrated 2024 First Team All-American, Bill Katsigiannis. And Bill, we're going to keep you on the stage here. ESPN Second Team All-American, Bill Katsigiannis. Congratulations, Bill. Football Writers Association of America 2024 All-America Second Team, Lucas Scott. Congratulations, Lucas. College Sports Communicators 2024 Academic All-America First Team, Andon Thomas. Congratulations, Andon. Army had a player ranked on ESPN's top 100 college football players of 2024, and that's Bryson Daly. Congratulations, Bryson. West Point also home to the Football Scoop Offensive Line Coach of the Year, Mike Beatty. Congrats, Mike. The ECAC Division I FBS Coach of the Year, Jeff Munkin. Congratulations, Coach Munkin. And now, the Joe Moore Award, given to the nation's best offensive line, will Mike Beatty, Cody Worley, along with Bill Katsigiannis, Brady Small, Paulo Generelli, and Lucas Scott, come to the stage to represent the Army football offensive line. What a year for this offensive line. Congratulations. How about another round of applause for all of our amazing honorees? Time now for our individual awards. And we will begin with the Creighton W. Abrams Memorial Award. It's presented to the team captains in memory of General Abrams, West Point class of 1936. This year's captains, Bryson Daly, Max DiDomenico, Kyle Lewis, and Cody Winokur. Congratulations to the team captains. For our next award, I'd like to welcome Head Officer Representative of the Army football team, Colonel J.B. Baskerville. To present the Lieutenant General Garrison Davidson Award. This is presented to the graduating senior who maintains the highest military grade while being further distinguished by his excellence in the areas of honor, country, sportsmanship, and leadership. This year's winner, Trey Gronotte. Congratulations, Trey. Now I'd like to welcome Director of Football Academic Support, Jocelyn Zineski, to present the MAJ William C. Whitehead Jr. Memorial Award, presented to the graduating member of the Army football team with the highest class standing. This award is sponsored by Mrs. William C. Whitehead. This year's winner, Bill Katsigiannis. Congratulations, Bill. Would assistant coach Mike Beatty come up to the stage to present the Thomas West Hammond Memorial Award. It's presented to the outstanding lineman for the season. The award is sponsored by the late Mr. Chester Hammond in memory of his father. This year's winner, Lucas Scott. Congratulations, Lucas. What a year for this Army offensive line. I'd now like to welcome assistant coach Danny Verpel to present the Colonel James B. Gillespie Memorial Award. It's presented to the player who displays outstanding dedication, unfailing performance, and consistently contributes to the Army football team. This year's winner, Max DiDomenico. Congratulations, Max. Next up, Director of Player Development, Captain Luke Prue. Could you come to the stage to present the Colonel Joel B. Dopey Stevens Memorial Award, presented to the outstanding football players on the scout team. This year's winners, Brady Anderson for offense and Sean Donovan for defense. Brady's injured, not with us here tonight. But we have Sean. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to welcome Army Football Defensive Coordinator Nate Woody for the Anthony Miller Coaching Staff Award presented to the most inspirational player on the Army football team as voted by the coaching staff. Coach Woody.
Point me in the right direction. This is a great moment for me to be able to give back to somebody who I thought gave an awful lot to our defense, to our team. You go all the way back to when he was in the prep school, and he walked on to the program. He walked on. He was a smaller outside linebacker. He was a guy that had an incredibly high IQ, football IQ, classroom, great lifter, strong. There was always going to be a place for him somewhere on our defense. And as he moved up to to our varsity, the first couple of years he showed great potential. And then we really needed him desperately to play a position that he was a little bit undersized for. But he didn't flinch. He moved to a nose tackle position for us his junior year and just did a tremendous job. And that's not something that was easy to do. So I'll always be grateful for him stepping in a role that was very difficult and performing really great for us. Then he came back his senior year and played defensive end and just was one of the best defensive ends in the conference and one of the best leaders on our team, Kyle Lewis.
Congratulations, Kyle. I'd like to now ask Connor Hughes, Army Football Head Strength and Conditioning Coach, to come to present the award for the Army Football Lifter of the Year.
Toughness, grit, perseverance. I don't know how to talk into one of these things. Described our Lifter of the Year. He fought through injuries his first 3 years. In his senior season, he turned himself into a violent, physical, tough, elite-level offensive lineman. Had a 625-pound squat and a 465-pound bench. Bill Katsigiannis, the 2025
Congratulations, Bill. Well deserved. Next up, the First Lieutenant Chase Prasnicki Memorial Award. It's presented to the first-class cadet on the Army football team who embodies the characteristics of First Lieutenant Stephen Chase Prasnicki, class of 2010, who was killed in action in June 2012. Prasnicki's sacrifice epitomized the values of loyalty, selfless service, and teamwork taught by both the United States Army and the United States Military Academy. Prasnicki was always a team player, continuously putting the needs of the team above his own personal goals, and serves as a role model for all past, current, and future Army football players. I'd like to welcome Ms. Emily Gang.
Good evening, and thank you for welcoming me back to present the First Lieutenant Chase Presentatoon Memorial Award. My name is Emily, and I was the lucky one who got to be Chase's wife. The First Lieutenant Chase Presentatoon Memorial Award is presented every year to the player who best embodies the characteristics Chase brought to life both on and off the field every day. Most especially, his loyalty, teamwork, and selfless service. This is the 12th year of the award, and I still remember presenting it year one to Colby Miller like it was yesterday. The banquet was just a few weeks after Coach Monken joined us, and I remember being so grateful to you and to everyone who helped get this started. I was so desperate to find any way to continue to speak Chase's name, so I was beyond grateful that you all came to me with the idea. And I continue to be so grateful every single year for the opportunity to share Chase with you. One thing I think you are programmed to believe and strive for in the Army, and life in general, is to check all of the elite boxes that you can. And you all, here in the front, are in the process of crafting such incredible resumes. Army football player, West Point grad, Army officer, check, check, check. Chase did the same. He was recruited by Bobby Ross as a quarterback, then switched to free safety his senior year without batting an eye because that's what the team needed most. He graduated in 2010 with a degree in operations research, went on from West Point to be a GA for a year, completed field artillery BOLIC, completed Ranger School without recycling one phase, went right from there to complete jump school. He was assigned his #1 pick in duty station, and we were stationed in Germany, where he was a platoon leader. There he completed Pathfinder School, and he was as prepared as he possibly could have been to deploy to Afghanistan just 7 months after arriving in Germany. I think most of you know what happened next. Chase was deployed in June of 2012, and on his first day in country, he joined up with the outgoing platoon on their patrol. He wanted to ride along to get the lay of the land and best prepare himself to lead his men. Their vehicle tragically drove over a massive IED, and Chase and the driver of the MRAP, Sergeant Jamie Skalberg, didn't survive. As the days and years continue to pass since we lost him, people of course remember his achievements, every tab and accolade that he could have in his short Army career. But if you ask anyone that he met, they're going to tell you about his kick-ass personality and how he made them feel strong or brave or like family. He was the same person no matter who he was with, and I can only hope that that's how all of us are remembered one day as well. So yes, while it is important to work hard and achieve your goals, check the boxes, Chase taught me that it's even more so about who you are and how you show up, for yourself and for all of those in your orbit. Especially as you move around in the Army, people won't always know your reputation or your resume right off the bat. It's so important to stay true to who you are and continually remember where you come from. And if you continue to be loyal, a great teammate, and exude that selfless service, the achievements will follow. So what started as a way to share stories about Chase with you and to keep his legacy alive has truly become so much more than that. It's become this collection of incredible human beings who have won this award year after year and have gone on to live honorable lives after sitting in these seats that you're in right now. While I always strive to leave you with some kind of understanding of who Chase was as a person and a life lesson that I learned from him, I thought this year I would also bring in some life lessons from others that you can relate to. I reached out to some of the past winners of this award, and I asked them all to share one thing that they've carried with them that they learned during their time here at West Point, and one thing that they wish they could have told themselves as they sat in these seats right here. I want to share some of the responses with you tonight in hopes that you'll carry these all with you the rest of your football career and beyond. Words that showed up when I asked them what stayed with them far beyond their days on the football field were words like resiliency, resolve, perseverance, tenacity. The 2022-23 recipient, Fabrice Boyne, said to practice like you play, in football, but more importantly, in life. And the more you can control your effort and your attitude, regardless of circumstance, the more prepared you'll be in difficult times when it matters. The 2020-21 recipient, Mike Johnson, said things aren't always easy and sometimes tenacity is the sole factor that allows you to achieve the everyday work required to succeed in the long term. Tenacity is what continues to allow him to uphold the standard that every soldier deserves in a leader. Of course, I had to reach out to the inaugural winner, Colby Miller, who received the award for the 2013-14 season. He said one thing he wishes that he could tell his younger self is that everything comes down to mindset. Everything happens for a reason, but you always have the choice in how you respond. You're capable of anything you set your mind to, so don't doubt yourself, but also always stay humble and true to where you come from. Mike Johnson said he'd go back and tell himself to be in the moment. It's easy to look forward to the long term, the next season, receiving your branch, graduation, commissioning, the next break, but be in the moment. Enjoy the moments of controlled suffering in practice or conditioning. Enjoy the meals with the boys at day's end, and enjoy the victories. Life will hit you fast after you graduate, but believe him, you'll miss strapping the pads up and being able to play ball with your boys. So hearing all the similarities in their responses just reaffirmed how spot on the selections have been for this award over the years, and it gave me a clear picture of the kind of man that Chase would have matured to be. Not only did he and all of the recipients continually show up for themselves and their teams, but they possess the resiliency that it takes to succeed. This year's recipient is no different and is a true pillar of perseverance and resilience. He is easily one of the most respected football players, but also one of the most respected cadets in the Corps because of his sense of maturity and perspective. With tactical patience, wisdom beyond his years, and a team before self mentality. So before I announce the recipient, I want to thank you all again from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be up here and to speak Chase's name. So without further ado, huge congratulations to this year's recipient, Cody Winokur.
Congratulations, Cody.
What a humbling award to receive. This is, I actually walked past. Chase was in H4, and his poster is hanging in the 47th Division of our barracks. And I knew it was Army Football Brother, and I knew that I would, we present his award every single year. And so every morning when I lived in that division, I'd walk down the stairs and I would just hit it on the way to class. So it's kind of hits you with just how much this brotherhood means and what this award means and what he stood for. What makes it so special is that anybody could have received this, any guy in the front row here, any seniors qualified. I feel like we're so blessed to have this group of dudes that we had this year. No egos across the board. We really maximize our potential as a team, which was one of our goals at the beginning of the season. So super humble to accept this award, and I'm at a loss for words, honestly. I really appreciate it, and I just look forward to this upcoming season, seeing what y'all are going to do, and look forward to serving the brotherhood in whatever capacity I can moving forward.
Congratulations, Cody. Thank you, Emily. Time now for the Black Lion Award. It's presented to the Army football player who best exemplifies the character of Don Holler. This award is sponsored by and established at West Point by the Army Football Club in conjunction with the Black Lions Association, which provides this award to hundreds of high school football players each year. I'd like to welcome assistant coach Mike V.
It's an honor to stand in for the Holler family and represent Katie Fellows, who can't be here, who typically presents this award. The history, heritage, pedigree, and lineage of this brotherhood is significant and second to none. It's populated by historical figures, heroes, and legends. Actualized leaders and men who left a golden azimuth for us to live our daily values, our core values, and understand what this traditional brotherhood is all about. The Black Lion Award is given in memory of Major Don Holler, former West Point All-American who died in combat in Vietnam on October 17, 1967. Specifically, this award is presented to the Army football player who best exemplified Don Hollider's accolades and attributes for those who knew him best: leadership, courage, devotion to duty, selfless sacrifice, and above all else, an unselfish concern for the team ahead of himself. A little bit about Don Hollider. He was born in Buffalo and moved to Rochester when he was 12. He was a tremendous athlete: baseball, basketball, football, obviously. Receiving upwards of 80 scholarship offers in the early 50s was significant. He was recruited to West Point by the famed Vince Lombardi. He achieved early success in his career. As a junior, he became an All-American wideout. Coach Blake, before the 1955 season, needed a quarterback. And he was quoted as saying, "It's easier to make a leader a quarterback than a quarterback a leader," thus selecting Hollider, the best leader Army had at the time. He had a successful senior campaign, which culminated in a victory over Navy. In 1956, he was selected in the 8th round by the New York Football Giants. But Hollider had his sights set on a military career. Over the next decade, he rose in the ranks in a variety of leadership roles and positions, including a stint here back at West Point as a coach. Knowing combat duty would advance his military career, and being quoted as telling a friend, "It would be hypocritical of me to train officers for battle and not be willing to go myself." Soon thereafter, he volunteered for duty in Vietnam during a time of great escalation and social unrest in our country. During mid-October of 1967, Hollider found himself in South Vietnam. A savage skirmish broke out in the Ong Thang part of Vietnam in southern Vietnam. While surveying the embattled area from his helicopter, Hollider noticed a group of wounded Americans, soldiers on the fringe of the jungle. James Shelton, a retired brigadier general who was on duty that day, recalled hearing some of Hollider's last words over the radio. And I quote from Hollider, "Hey, there's wounded out there," Hollider shouted. "Let's go get them. You get a machete, Doc, follow me. We've got to go get those guys." Approximately 90 minutes later, Hollider was mortally wounded by enemy sniper fire, along with 63 other brave Americans that day and 75 wounded in action. It's important that we remember our past, our heritage, and pay homage, and echo those words and live those values daily as a brotherhood. In two cultures of toughness, football and the military, Don Hollider is amongst the toughest and the very best the Army Football Brotherhood has ever known. This year's recipient who best personified those characteristics of leadership, courage, devotion to duty, selfless sacrifice, and above all else, an unselfish concern for the team ahead of himself, and making Coach Blake's words become true again today. It is easier to make a leader a quarterback than a quarterback a leader. Bryson Daly.
Congratulations, Bryson.
First off, thank you to the Hollider and the Fellows family for allowing my name to be associated with such a legend in our program, in our country, and just someone that every American should look up to. This is extremely humbling. You hear a name like Don Hollider, you hear about all the things he did and how courageous he was. As a player here, that's a guy that we all should look up to. And then what he did, leading soldiers, that follow me mentality, that's something that, I hope one day I can be half the man that he was, half the soldier he was, half the American he was. So just extremely humbling to win this award, and hopefully as I go on, can be half the man he was. So thank you.
And now, Coach Monken, would you please present our final award? The Thruston Hughes Memorial Award, presented to the most valuable player on the Army football team as voted by his teammates. Established in 1939, this award is presented during the awards convocation graduation week. This year's winner, Bryson Daly. Congrats, Bryson.
First off, just again, extremely humble. Man, this is a long journey. I came in as a freshman quarterback. Coaches told me, hey, you can start out quarterback. You'll probably move. And that's what I thought in my head. I'll probably move linebacker. I can't really throw it very well. And get in as a freshman quarterback, 11th string. There's 11 quarterbacks in the room. I consider myself 11th string. Worked my way up, and it's all about this team. Stayed around for the guys in this room. Prep school, wanted to leave. Stayed with the guys. This is the absolute closest senior class I've seen since I've been here. I think that led to our success this year, no question. Like Cody said, no egos in the room, no egos in the senior class, and that 100% led to our success. And then, this team was awesome. This was the highlight of my life. Extremely honored to be able to play with you guys, be able to play with the Joe Moore offensive line. Love you guys for sure. And defense, y'all made it really easy this year. You don't have to score much when they're not scoring at all. So, love you guys, love this team. Excited to see what you young guys are going to do next year. Just love you guys, love Army football.
Congratulations, Bryson. What a year, what a career. How about a round of applause for all of our Army football award winners? Well, we spent tonight honoring the first-classmen, looking back at the tremendous and memorable 2024 Army football season. We all know 2025 season right around the corner. With that, I'd like to welcome back Coach Monken.
Congratulations to our seniors and just a great job this year leading our football team. A conference championship, 2 bowl victories, 2 Commander-in-Chief's trophies. You guys made some great memories. And all the guys that were honored tonight, not just our seniors, but all the guys and the contributions you made this year to getting that championship trophy that's up there on the screen. There's a couple people I failed to mention, and Jocelyn Zaneski, Miss Z, and Amy are here, and what a great job they do with our program. Let's give them a round of applause. I think the players would attest to that, just the effort that they put in. I've been here 11 years, and it's never been this organized, and we've never had as much success academically as we've had, and I know it's their effort. Our recruiting staff, our strength staff, Alyssa and the nutrition team, just the jobs you guys do, and I failed to mention you individually, but sure appreciate all that you do. And those are all folks that are going to help us take this program to the next level in 2025. So what this senior class did this year in leading this football team is set a standard. And so to match that standard, and it's not to just be good enough. It's not just to follow the rules. It's the expectations that we have. And what are the standards that we've got to meet and we've got to uphold, we've got to adhere to in order to meet those standards. So we got great opportunity. It was a fun year. And it was awesome to go through that run with this football team. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of our seniors, the leaders. I'm proud of the guys coming back. The guys coming back are going to carry a 12-win season and an American Conference Championship into that season next year with a big target on our chest. And we are now the team to beat. And if that trophy is going to be ours again, then we got to work for it. And you know, Coach Saturnio said last summer, he said, you know what, Coach, I think this is a special team. And we kind of all felt, I think, that spirit in this group. And it was a great year. And it can be an outstanding year this coming season, and we're going to make sure it is. And there's some unfinished business to take care of, and we talk about that about every day in our program, and we're going to finish that business because we're in the business of winning Commander-in-Chief's trophies. And next December, that trophy is coming back to West Point. That trophy's coming back here, and that son of a bitch is never leaving this place again. So we're all family here. That word's in the Bible, so I'm okay. And so this one is too. Let's get our asses to work, and let's win that trophy, and let's be better than we were this year. Because that's what you strive to do when you're a champion, when you're a winner. How are we going to find a way to be better? And we're going to do that this year. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate our players. I know this is a long night on a Friday night before we got a scrimmage. But you know what? It's worth honoring your teammates. It's worth honoring this senior class. It's worth one more time remembering this 2024 season, and now we can put it behind us and go to 2025. I appreciate our parents who traveled so far to be here tonight for your sons and their teammates, and the travel that you put in over the last 4 or 5 years to come to games here, to travel around the country, just the commitment and the sacrifice and the investment that you make to be a part of this is really incredible. I appreciate our staff. We got a great staff. We got an unbelievable coaching staff. We got a great support staff. And I'd like to mention every one of you by name, but it's a team. It's a team. That's what's great about football, is it's not about one person. It's about us and the things that we can do together and the opportunities that we have out in front of us and the commitment that we all make. We can do some great things, some amazing things together. And that's got to be a commitment every day. It can't be once in a while. It can't be just tomorrow morning in the scrimmage. It's got to be every day, all the time. Because everybody in this room that's wearing a white shirt is counting on you to do that. And so it's going to be a great year because we're going to make it a great year. I'm proud of you guys, proud of what we accomplished this year, and I'm really looking forward to this next season. Let's win that Commander-in-Chief's trophy, and let's be celebrating that a year from now when we're back here. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. After we're done, we're going to have a reception for the parents, our firsties. You're not a firstie, that's not a reception for you. We got some adult drinks and some more desserts, and we'll be looking forward to hosting you guys one more time. For the rest of you guys, we'll see you in the morning, and we're gonna get ready to beat Navy.
Thank you, Coach, and that puts a wrap on the banquet. Thank you so much, first-classmen and guests. Crest Hall. Before we say goodbye, everyone, if they could just stay here in the auditorium, we'd like everyone to stand for the playing of the West Point alma mater. Okay, firstclassmen, remember when you're at the reception, you have your framed jerseys. Remember to take them. Tommy Cancelosi, Dallas Harbor, Andrew Lang, the cadet managers did a great job with those. How about a round of applause for our equipment staff as we leave? Enjoy. Congratulations to all. Go Army, beat Navy.